Hello guys. Just started Epic 7. I bet you guys will have a lot of trouble trying to sort your gears out, trying to enhance them or to trash them, or even when to stop enhancing them, discard them. So these are the basic rules, alright, on gear enhancing in Epic 7. So feel free to skip to the timestamp based on what you need to know. Alright, first off, we'll start with unit category, but before that, please take note that builds suggested below are commonly used, and some people have certain different build based on their own playstyle, and some unit will have their very own build, which are not being included in any of this category. It is also necessary to take note that you don't have to force yourself to go for a 4+2 set effect as long as you can meet the required stats line. Because sometimes forcing a 4+2 might result having worse stats, especially for newer players that doesn't have big gear pool. Firstly, the first category is the tank. So tank are usually the unit that provide mitigation, such as damage reduction and damage sharing most of the time. The basic equipment set that they use are usually speed set, protection set, immunity set, HP set, effect resistance set, and defense set. While for the substats that you would be looking at would be HP percentage, defense percentage, effect resistance, speed, and sometimes a bit of flat HP and a bit of defense. Ain't that bad. That's for the substats. While for the right side here, the main stat that we will be looking at would be HP percentage and defense percentage for the neck, while for the ring will be HP percentage, defense percentage, and sometimes effect resistance. And for the boots will be speed, HP percentage, and defense percentage. So for the next category will be Soul Weavers. So what is Soul Weavers? Soul Weavers in Epic 7 are basically supporters, right, that actually provide sustain to the team, such as healing, cleansing, revive, and also provide various buffs to the team. The basic equipment set that they usually use are speed set, immunity set, effect resistance set, HP set, and defense stats. While for the substats that most Soul Weavers would be using are HP percentage, defense percentage, effect resistance is kind of important because they need to resist getting debuffed so that they can cleanse their teammates, and of course having decent speed, and sometimes flat HP and flat defense is not that bad. While for the right side gear, the main stats that we will be looking at for necklace will definitely be HP percentage, defense percentage, while for the ring will be HP percentage, defense percentage, or effect resistance most of the time. While for the boots, we definitely will opt for speed boots. Alright, for the third category will be bruisers and DPS. So basically, what is the difference between a bruiser and a DPS? For bruisers, they tend to be on a slower side, and they are built with some bulk besides damage. They also tend to have some self-sustain and survivability ability that enable them to actually excel in a longer fight, such as stealth, vitality, damage limitation, or some sort of lifesteal. While for DPS, they tend to be on a faster side and usually are built with full DPS stats. They are usually used to deal enormous upfront damage or being able to take out one unit early on to gain advantage for the fight. So basically, there are three types of DPS and bruisers, which are the attack scaling, HP scaling, and defense scaling units. So the set equipment that they usually use are such as destruction set, speed set, lifesteal set, counter set, HP set, defense set, effect resistance sets for some ER build, immunity set, penetration set, torrent set, and critical set. So first, we'll go to the attack scaling units. The substats that are commonly used are attack percentage, HP percentage, defense percentage, crit chance, crit damage, speed, and flat attack for full DPS build or certain units that doesn't require crit. For main stats wise, on the right side here, for necklace, we'll be looking at crit damage, crit chance, and attack percentage is actually being used, especially for unit that doesn't do crit. Units such as Hwayong, Summertime Issaria, Senya, Arunka, Carrot, Bihu, and Pirate Captain Flan. For ring wise, obviously it will be attack percentage, while for the boost will be speed and attack percentage, depending on whether it will be a base speed attacking unit or not. Next, for defense scaling units, the substats that are commonly being used are defense percentage, HP percentage, crit chance, crit damage, speed, and sometimes flat defense are being used too. So for the main stats on the right side here will be crit damage, crit chance, and defense percentage for non-crit units such as Karina for the necklace, while for the ring it will be defense percentage and boots will be speed or defense percentage. And the last category will be HP scaling units. The substats that are commonly being used are HP percentage, defense percentage, crit chance, crit damage, speed, and sometimes flat HP are being used too. For main stats wise, on the right side here will be crit damage, crit chance, and HP percentage for non-crit units such as Albedo, ML Senya, 3F Valiant, and also Laya for their necklace, while for the ring will be HP percentage and the boots will be speed and HP percentage. So the last category will be openers and debuffers. So what are the difference between them? So for openers, they are usually built way faster to enable them to actually take the first turn to gain advantage. They can actually also be a debuffer at the same time. Alright, such as Sea Phantom Politis, Conquered Lilius, Lua, and Pera. Besides that, some openers are built to provide initial damage to set up for the team to clean up the match, which is commonly being used by cleavers such as Ran, Seed, or top model Luluka. While for debuffers, they are usually built at mid speed. Their job is actually to hinder their opponent units to gain advantage over time. Some of the best examples are like Nako, Angel of like Angelica, and Fumir. The basic equipment set that they use are basically speed set, hit set, immunity set, HP set, defense set, crit set, penetration, and torrent. These three sets are usually being used for damage dealer openers. So for the substats that we will be looking at, right? Obviously speed. Speed is the most important for them. Alright, move on to effectiveness, HP percentage, defense percentage, while for damage opener, it will be attack percentage, crit chance, crit damage. That's all. So for the main stats on the right side here that we'll be looking at, we'll break into 3 categories. So for Debuffer's opener, any stats, any main stats, to be honest, any main stats on the neck and the ring, as long as it's the highest speed gear, alright, just slap it on it. Of course, if it's a HP percentage for necklace, it would be better, while for the ring, it's either HP percentage or effectiveness. And boots wise, there's only one choice you have, which is speed. Next, for the next category, which is the damage openers. For neck, you'll be going for the crit chance or crit damage, while ring will be attack percentage and boots will be speed. And for the debuffers, usually they want to be a bit tankier since they are not that fast, they are built mid-speed, so they would be looking at HP percentage for their neck, while they'll be looking at effectiveness on their ring, and for boots, it's definitely speed too. Okay, let's go to the next topic, which is what is equipment score and when to stop. Basically, these tables shows the minimum and maximum value of the stats that can roll for every +3 enhancement. And basically, you can take a screenshot, save it somewhere else, refer it back when you're rolling your gear, so you would know whether you are low rolling, mid rolling, or you high roll. We usually try to avoid rolling the stats such as flat HP, flat defense, or flat attack in most cases, because they do not provide as much stats compared to the percentage ones. And a reminder for new players, right? You need gears to start off your farm or do RTA early. So if you're being way too picky, you might not even have gear. So do not feel that you're wasting charms on early game trying to go for some low ES gear. Treat it as a stepping stones to be more efficient in the game. Gear requirement for master rank RTA is very low. You might even achieve master rank in RTA with those arena gears or free gears given by the game. So don't worry about not getting your free ML5 skins, guys. So when it comes to equipment score, these are the benchmark that I usually use on my gear, and it differs from people to people. Some older players might have higher standard and newer players might have lower standard. So these are the benchmark that I use for my equipment. So basically for the left side gear, especially for the bruisers and DPS, I'll be looking about 90 equipment score and above. For new player wise, you guys can just deduct 10 points out of it. While for the tank and soul weavers, will be about 80 equipment score and above. Same for the new players, just deduct 10 scores. And opener wise, equipment score really doesn't matter. Alright, as long as it's like super high speed, just slap it on and you're good to go. While for the right side, since it's harder to get perfect piece of equipment score, alright, or perfect piece of gear, so we'll have lower equipment score benchmark. So for bruisers and DPS, it will be about 80 and above. For new players, deduct 10 scores. Tank and soul weaver will be about 70 and above. Same for the new players, just 10 score. And for opener wise, speed value way more than ES. Alright, here comes the section where it's for the new players. Alright, it's for the new players, guys. Is when are you stopping enhance and trash it? So it really differs from people to people, but these are the basic rules. So when it comes to purple gear, usually if it rolls into unwanted stats once before +9, we usually discard it. Alright. Or if it low roll, it's gone too. While for the epic gear, rolling into unwanted stats twice or flat stats that looks really bad, it's a trash gear. Or low rolling 3 times, or by +9 the equipment score is lower than 50 or about there for bruisers and 40 for tank and soul weavers, it's a trash gear. Alright, please bear in mind, right, these are examples for fresh new players, while older players definitely have higher standard when it comes to gear rolling. Alright, the last part of the video, guys, the most exciting part, which is speed checking. Speed checking is a common term that every Epic 7 player will hear every day, every minute. Alright, it's basically we are rolling just to check for speed. Usually speed checking gears are gears that have speed, but with substats that makes no sense at all. So we wouldn't care any of the substats. What we want is just speed, pure speed and nothing else. And equipment score are not required for this speed checking section. So let's go to purple gear. For purple gear, if it rolls into anything besides speed before it hits +9, it's trash. Alright, but for really fresh players, which is like super desperate, I mean, worst come to worst, missing one speed roll before +9, it's still fine. 13 to 16 speed gear might be useful. Ain't that bad, but I wouldn't recommend it at all. When it comes to epic gear wise, usually gear will be discarded if we roll twice into a non-speed substats. Alright, given that the other substats makes no sense. Alright, it's a pure speed check gear. Twice not in a speed, adios, no amigos, guys. And if you're really desperate, guys, like I said, you guys can continue and pray for high roll for the remaining rolls. Alright, back smile, get hard for it, guys. And yep, basically that's all. Good luck in your gear rolling. If you guys have any question, feel free to join my Discord, join my stream. I do stream almost every day. Alright, that's all. See you guys. Ta-ta.